microphone is sensitive.
Oh, your microphone. All right. I think it's still trying to connect to Instagram, and we are on Instagram.
Hey, Instagram.
Okay, we are live and in color, in living color,
In the right color. In
live
living
and in
color.
living. Oh,
Living in the
I'm messing
right
up.
color, baby.
I know, right? I'm over here messing up stuff. All right, so let me turn this on silent because I don't want any distractions. All right, so this is hey girl, hey, it's your girl Regina Renee from Mindful and Melanated. In case y'all forgot, because I've been kind of MIA for a little bit, and I just kind of wanted to just jump on and kind of talk about what's been going on. I'm chopping it up with my good friend Falasha here. Falasha, if you want to tell the people who you are, because you've never been live with me.
Who am I? I don't know. My name is Falasha, and I'm Regina Renee's girl.
The heck?
Period.
Period. You're so silly. Yeah, so and it's funny because we recently, because like I just said, I've been MIA from my community, but you and I have recently reconnected because of things that I had going on in my life and perhaps things, in your life or whatever. But I'm super excited that we reconnected. And I'm even more excited that you'll be sharing the main stage at the conference this year. That's going to
The
be lit.
main stage.
The main stage. But yeah, so the conference is still happening. I know people keep asking me, they be DMing me, calling me, texting me. By the way, if you have called me, emailed me, DM me, texted me, whatever, and I have not gotten back to you, I'm gonna get back to you. It's life was life and life was life and so yeah. So the title of this live is this where what happened to you? And the reason why we are going live talking about this is because actually Falash and I was just on the phone, just talking, chopping it up or whatever. And she was sharing a resource with me, a book um, called What Happened to You.
Hmm.
And so I said, maybe I should go live and talk about what happened to me recently and, why I went MIA. Went MIA and I come back 3 weeks before a conference begging for you to buy a ticket. Like, where you been? I ain't seen you in a year. You want some money?
Well, you know what? We don't really want your money. It's more like, in order for you and I and everyone else that's listening to come together, we have to pay for that to happen.
Yeah,
And all the contributions that come in make that happen. So it's
yeah,
not even like you taking the money and you saying, "Come on, girl, let's get on the flight." No, it's
right.
just paying to make it happen so that we can all connect, which is something I think is so great about you, Regina. Like, just, yeah, like every year you're committed and dedicated to make sure that we redefine what strong Black women mean, whatever, however that looks like. And so, yeah, thank you. Thank you.
No, thank you for saying that. It's like everyone always says, I don't need external validation. I don't need external validation. You don't need that to be happy, but sometimes it's nice to hear because intellectually I know what I put on is a good I have a good product, but um I do question the impactfulness sometimes, but it's just
No, it's the impact is there. Do you hear that little
I
voice in the
do.
background?
I hear
Here's
that
the
little
water. Here's the
voice.
water. Listen, we always on duty. We just don't ever get to not be on duty.
Right.
Here, come get the water. Sorry, guys. It's live.
Oh,
What
is
happens
that
in
right?
theory is
Exactly.
live.
It's all good. But yeah, so shoot, I lost my train of thought just that quick.
What we were talking
Oh yeah,
about.
yeah, yeah. Like I like intellectually, I know it's a good product, but sometimes like emotionally, I don't know. I question the impactfulness. But yeah, so thank you. I said all that to say thank you for saying that to me. I do appreciate it. Um, and I also appreciate you helping me plan the conference, right? Because so what happened to me? So right now, I don't know if y'all saw the post that I posted a few months ago about just his life and right now, and I did send an email that I was stepping away from the co-working space um for a while because I was going through it myself. I had another depressive episode, and I had a lot of external stressors with respect to relationships, interpersonal relationships, work, stuff, finances. Um, of- I was unhoused for just a brief moment. I don't want to say like I was on the street or whatever. I was, staying with a friend. So it wasn't like I was living out of my car, but yeah, I had to. So right now I'm in my new studio apartment on my little air mattress because my stuff is still in storage.
Hello.
So yeah, so I not only had to take a step back from Mindful and Melanated and Village 92, but also my job, because I just was not well. And as guilty as I feel, and maybe you can help me process this, but like, because I still sometimes just don't understand why I feel guilty when I have to take care of myself. I have this whole brand about
Amazing, Brit.
self-care. Thank
Amazing.
you. Amazing. About self-care, self-preservation. Use your PTO, bitch.
Right.
And I feel guilty because I'm in psych ward again. I don't
So,
know. Like,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, like, do you experience that?
It's funny. So, I've been doing a lot of um, self assessing, and yes, I do. And I do it in a way that is almost like punishment. So I punish myself. So yeah. So
What does that look like when you say you punish yourself?
I'll give you an example. I'm Let's say I'm in Jamaica on vacation visiting my daughter, and she has a guest room, and I feel so unworthy because of things that I might have done to other people, or things that I have not yet processed, or because I didn't show up a specific way for my children, that I don't deserve to sleep in the guest room. So I'm going to justify sleeping on the floor under my granddaughter's loft bed, as I just want to sleep here because it's closer to my granddaughter, right? And I had an epiphany one night when I was sleeping on the floor of my granddaughter's bedroom, that this is a punishment and you don't have to punish yourself anymore. Why are you punishing yourself for things that you're feeling guilty about? Why are you taking away? And why are you not honoring yourself? And why are you,
Mm-hmm.
if everyone else has forgiven you, or the people or person that you harmed or hurt has forgiven you and they've said it to you, why are you still punishing yourself? And at that moment, I realized that throughout my whole life, I had just always made decisions based on, I'm not deserving because I didn't do this. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not deserving because I failed in that. And a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie. It's an absolute lie. So, in that regard, I hope that makes sense. In that regard,
No,
yes,
it
I can
does.
relate for sure. For sure.
Yeah, I when you were just talking about how you punish yourself, I was thinking about myself, and I think I do delayed gratification,
Mm,
where like for
yeah.
basic stuff like going to the bathroom, getting something to eat, like I'll have to pee
Mhm.
and or I'm hungry, but I won't eat or use the bathroom
Until,
until it's like you about to pee on yourself.
right. Yeah. Yeah. Those are behaviors, learned behaviors through trauma,
Hmm.
right? And I know trauma's a major buzzword right now in
Hmm.
social media and in society just in general. But the reality is, it's a buzzword because there is some truth behind it, a lot of
Hmm.
truth behind it. And we have to take the time out to really sit with ourselves, which is something I did, right? I don't know if you're ready for us to go there because
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. We already here.
she's talking about, over here, Regina Renee is talking about going MIA. I've been MIA too. Um, and what did you call it? Unhomed?
Unhoused.
Unhoused.
Yes.
Unhoused for a good period of time. And I had a whole mental breakdown, right?
Hmm.
Like Falasha. P. Falasha. P. Dot Falasha Harrison had a mental breakdown. What? She was in the hospital for 2.5 weeks on the psych ward for 2.5 weeks. Why? What are you talking about? She can build things. She can bring things together. She can make businesses flourish. She can, yeah, but she couldn't do that for herself,
Hmm.
right? And I couldn't understand how I got here. Like, what do you like? I'm not supposed to be here. I know how to make things shake and move and shake and move. And I've been doing this for years. I got a 32-year-old son. Like, if I was going to have
Hmm.
a breakdown, I should have had that when I was 19, 20, 25, 30, not in my 40s, late
Hmm.
40s.
Hmm.
But it happened. And because of the type of person that I am, I had to really start thinking, like, I want to understand what's happening because this can't only be happening to me. This
Yeah.
cannot only be something that is impacting or affecting me. There has to be information, data, studies, something out there about what's going on. So, of course, I started doing research and I found that book, What Happened to You, right, by Dr. Perry and Oprah Winfrey. And even though it's been a part of my healing, it actually broke me in the beginning and then put me back together, helped me put myself back together rather, because it's there's some realities that we have to accept that are hard to accept, right? And it's I don't even know if there's words to describe it. It's a process that you have to go through. And then you recognize that there's a self. There's a self. There's a you self. And then there's this external self.
Hmm.
And if you're not honoring that internal self, you're always in conflict with yourself. You understand? So
Hmm.
Falasha is booked, right, to speak at the Strong Black Woman Redefined conference. Second time.
That's right.
Yes, girl. But there's also that Falasha that feels like I gotta sleep on the floor. and not the guest bedroom, because I don't
Mm-hmm.
deserve that. There's that fallacia that feels like I got to continue to show up in this job that doesn't uplift me or move me in any way, because this is what I have right now and this is the best it is. And then there's that fallacia that's going to show up at Strong Black Woman Redefined, and people are going to look at it and think, oh, wow, but it's not that. It really isn't. And that's all a part of survival and learning how to survive, and part of like that whole trauma processing that I'm telling you, I can't do this book any justice, but I can tell you that the book is a game changer. It's two books that I've mentioned to you. Do you mind me mentioning them?
Yeah, go ahead. Yep.
Um, What Happened to You by Dr. Perry and Oprah Winfrey. Phenomenal. It's on Audible. And The Body Keeps the Score. I learned from The Body Keeps the Score, I learned about different types of therapy that is available to help you process trauma. Through What Happened to You, I learned to understand that it's not what's wrong with me, it's what happened to me. And as a result of this happening to me at this early stage of my life, your brain instinctively is pre-wired to protect you. So even when you don't have vocabulary, you're 1 day old, you're 2 months old, you're 3 weeks old, you deal with you're feeling energy, right? Because you don't have vocabulary, and you're learning to survive in that moment. And if you're not given the nurture and the care that you need within those first 2 months, then you're pre-wired to come from a place of survival all the time until you're like 40 something, like me, 40 a lot, and having a mental breakdown because you're in a relationship with a man who is loving the life out of you and providing and opening his whole world to you. And it's scary, so you damage it. Yeah, like, and then you're in the hospital. I'm in the hospital in the psych ward wondering, well, how did I get here? And then I remember, oh, when I was a little girl, my grandmother used to go to class on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and every time she would come home, I would break something of hers because I was scared that she was not coming back. So when she would come back, I needed her to know that I was angry at you for leaving. And I was that little girl, and I never processed those things, right? I just buried them because life happened. I had kids, I was a mom, I didn't have time to deal with all that other stuff. Not knowing that it's still there. That's how the body keeps the score. It's just, it's amazing, like the way the brain works, the way things function. It's just, I'm not even doing it any justice, to be honest with you.
You know, I think you're doing it justice, at least for me, and because I'm the kind of person where, for me to grasp a concept, I need to know not only the what and the how, but the why.
Exactly. Me too.
You know, and when we were on the phone talking earlier, I was saying, like, I need to figure out a way to what's the word I'm looking for? What did I say about getting ahead of my mental
Yes.
my depressive episodes?
Mm-hmm.
Like I've radically accepted the fact that I have chronic depression, anxiety, mental health issues, right? I got that. But this year, this most recent depressive episode really made me sit down and just say, Regina, you have depression. You're gonna have at least one depressive episode a year. Like, that's your cycle. So, like how you were saying, the struggle with the internal self and the external self.
Mm-hmm.
The external self is like, okay, girl, you got better, you got this. You wait for to get depressed again. Whereas the internal Regina is like, but you know you're gonna have another depressive episodes in 8 months, so you need to get ahead of it.
Right.
So I'm building. Prior to me having this epiphany, I was trying to build and craft the life based off external Regina, who knows she has a major depressive disorder diagnosis, but thinks, okay, this is the last time. She's better now, right? She is in competition with internal Regina, where it's like, no, you have a pattern and you need to just get ahead of it.
Right.
So I'm saying all that to say that I'm glad you shared those two resources with me, because I want to understand why I'm having this conflict with public facing Regina and internal Regina. And I think internal Regina, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like you feel the same way. Internal Regina is the real Regina.
Yes, absolutely. Internal Falasha is the real Falasha. So every night that I chose to sleep on the floor, every night that external Falasha chose to sleep on the floor, she was dishonoring and disrespecting and telling internal Falasha, you are not worthy, you are not deserving. Why don't even think about it? Like it's not
Right.
even available to you. Like it's not even, put it out, right? And we got to stop. I feel like I have to stop. I've made the decision now that I am going to stop dishonoring myself at any cost. It doesn't matter who it's coming from, children, man, doesn't matter. I'm not no longer dishonoring myself. Like judo's joys of being mom and all the other grandmom, auntie, all that good stuff.
All the things.
All that good stuff. And going live.
I know, right? But yeah, so and this is why I named, not only started my conference, but named my conference Strong Black Women Redefined, because we really need to redefine what strength means for us as individuals, as well as Black women as a population, but as individuals. You know what I mean? And so the external Regina is that mask. Like I use the term that I mask a lot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm masking. I've even masked in therapy.
I've done that too.
That is like, why? Of all the places and all the worlds and all the lands and all the universes and the galaxies, Zeta Relicti, Jupiter land. You could have saved that $20.
That's when you realize, right? That's when you know that this therapist ain't it. Like, it's no, I don't know. Maybe that's a me projecting, but if I got a mask in therapy, you're not it. And once I realized that I had to mask in therapy, she wasn't it. And after reading and understanding what's really going on with me, what happened to me, and the way the brain functions and the way the brain operates, I need a trauma informed therapist. I need someone who is experienced in trauma, because otherwise we're just going to be having conversations and talking for an hour and nothing is going to get resolved. And I can't continue to exist in this life broken. And I don't even know if it's broken. Maybe I shouldn't say broken, but just not where I should be, not at my fullest capacity, right? I'm not doing that. I refuse to. I'm not doing it.
Yeah. I refuse to too. I have to stop doing it. And it's like like going back to how you mentioned childhood and like things, how we learn how to navigate the world and people in our environment based off the energy, the treatment, how we're raised and all that stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
How we're treated in school, the cartoons we watch, whatever. And we were talking about before when we were on the phone before we went live, we were talking about how my conference is really good, and I oh, even when we were just live, and you were like, oh, it's an amazing conference, and I was like, oh, well, intellectually I know that, but sometimes emotionally I feel like it's not impactful. And so I would think, like, why do I need that constant external validation from people to tell me that this conference is good? I mean, I have major corporations that, sponsor it. I have hundreds of women that attend. I have people who come every single year. Like, why do I need all this external validation? And I had to think about it. I'm like, oh, because someone important in your life told you there is no reason why you shouldn't be a millionaire and the governor of Massachusetts by the time you're 45 years old. While I was a child in middle school.
Right. Right. And
Now wait, and now guess what? If I remind them that they said that,
they didn't say that.
I never said that. Then the gaslighting begins. Light that lamp. Light that lamp. That gaslight. It's gonna be lit up in here.
Listen. But no.
I never told you that. I was always
never say that.
Even if you were a D student, I never said that. Then the gas fucking lighting begins.
And you know what? They don't even realize what they're doing.
They don't.
Because when I think about, there's so many layers to this, right? Because as a mom, when my older kids tell me things that I said to them or how I made them feel, it's like, oh no, that was never like the intention. Like, is that how you received that? Right? And then depending on how it's coming, I'm sorry guys, I'm trying to fix my stand. Depending on how it's being said to me, I either want to defend myself or apologize. And usually from the kids, it's coming as an accusatory. So then it's like, whoa, hold on. But you didn't know that I had to sacrifice this and that and that and this and this. So if I even did say that to you, what's the problem? Wrong approach. As someone who's studying and understanding, mental health and going through it. However, I don't think sometimes the gaslighting is intentional. I think it's genuinely like, oh shoot, I messed up and I'm too embarrassed right now to apologize because I'm being called out on it. As the mom or the dad who feels like I did all these 100 things, but you find this one thing, and it's like, yeah, it'd be that one thing. It's that one thing because it was that pressure that was put on me. It was that belief that was pushed on me. And then when I didn't do that, or I haven't done that, now that little girl is wondering, there's a lot of going on out here. Can you hear that?
No, I do. Yes.
You hear it? So it's like, did I really live up to what you wanted? Because here, this is what I'm doing. Is this good? Okay, I'm doing this. Is this good? Okay, wait. I'm doing this. Is this good? Do you know, my uncle on my paternal, my father's side, said to me a month ago that if I pursue my business vision and venture, I am sitting on a multi-million to billion-dollar business that he would even be interested in investing in. So don't quit. This is the same uncle that told me in 2019 that I was a failure and I need to admit it. Yes. And then I spoke to him yesterday, and he said to me, Falasha, don't you ever listen to anybody and anything they have to say to you, because people will say things that in the moment, and it's just that. Don't put any weight on it. Don't ever let it discourage you. Don't ever. And if I, and it's crazy to me because now that I'm at 40 a lot, you're saying this to me when I wish you had said this to me when I was 20 a lot, because I wouldn't feel so, what is it, off balance or
Mhm.
inadequate or not well and not good enough if I had just heard one person from that side of my family say to me what he said to me a month ago or yesterday. What a difference that would have made in my life,
Mhm.
right? So I
Mhm.
get it, but I think sometimes people just don't even, people are just peopling while life is lifing. People are peopling, and
Yeah.
they're not that great of a set of people all the time, me included.
Oh yeah, because people are finicky. People are flaky.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
mean, everybody is,
Yes.
and it's not a good thing or a bad thing.
It's just a
It's
reality.
just, it's just a reality of it. You know.
I don't want to get preachy, but I am an ordained minister, and I have to just say that this is why God is so important. And it's not the God that pastors are preaching and pushing, and all these rules and all these prerequisites and requirements to be. Nah, 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 nah. It's about having your own personal relationship with the Father, Abba, who created us all, created the water, the oxygen, the trees, the light, created all of that for us, right, Regina? And He's our Father. But He had, just like He had to use Mary to have a natural born birthed Jesus, there has to be someone who has us, but we're still belonging to God. We're still His children. And so it's a little late in the game, but it's never too late to understand that God never, ever, ever stopped loving you. And everything that you have gone through is for you to do the work that God has intended you to do, to make the world a better place for other people. And so if you didn't go through the things you went through, we couldn't even connect, Regina. Think about it.
Hmm.
We couldn't connect. And if other people, just think about everybody that you associate with on a day-to-day basis, the close friends, the A circle, the B circle, the C circle, there's some connection there based on life experiences that if we never had, we couldn't have these genuine relationships, and we couldn't be relatable, and we couldn't pick each other up and help each other out the way that we're able to, just in the nick of time, right? Sometimes you get a text message from somebody and it's exactly what you needed to hear in that moment.
Hmm.
They don't even know it. So between understanding, my trauma and healing, and referencing the Bible and building a closer relationship with God, and not the relationship that my pastor says I should have, or the deacon says, or the elder says, or the church sister says, but the relationship that me and God have when I'm sitting with Him with my Bible, when He's waking me up at 3 a.m. in the morning, and I'm like, what is that sound? And it's some random noise waking me up at 3, and when I'm about to doze off, it goes off again. And it's like, okay. What's that God? Not the one that gets dressed on Sundays to come and tell me who I'm supposed to be. Mm-mm. That
Hmm.
that is the God that the pastors say. I'm talking about the God that you have a relationship with. He's it. That's all you need. That's all you need. And once you have that and like you stand firm in that, nothing else really matters. At least for me at this point in my
Yeah.
life. My kids, nothing. Like, you don't approve of whatever I'm doing, I don't know what to tell you, because God sees it and he promised that he would never leave me nor forsake me. And he told me that he will replace and give me back all that the locust has taken from me and the cankerworms have stolen. So I ain't tripping, because he's the God of all his promises. Y'all niggas can't keep y'all promises, but
No,
God
no.
does. So
Y'all niggas will keep your
I'm gonna lean in on that side of things a little bit more than the people side of things. And I know that's easier said than done, but life is so much easier and freer when you do it that when you live it that way. It really is. It really is.
Yeah, I'm not religious,
Don't
or
be.
Christian, or I mean, I don't know how you would define it, but from my secular folks out there, when you were talking,
Here you
I was
go with secular folks. There she go with the church language. You know she a church. She was in the church. Go ahead.
actually I
Go ahead,
wasn't.
sis.
That's hilarious. I actually wasn't. I know how to mask. I know how to mask. When you said you have to have an honest your relationship with, not honest, but like a connection, a relationship with God, your God, in your way, and focus on that relationship with that God. I was replacing God with myself. Not, oh wait, that came out red. I meant to swap out the words, meaning like I need to really cultivate my relationship with myself. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I thought I was doing a pretty good job, but obviously I wasn't.
Uh,
You know, there were
no.
a lot of things that I did, and I mean, for lack of better words, for aesthetics when it comes to my healing, right? So I was journaling because everyone says you should journal. I started going to yoga because everyone says you should go to yoga. I mean, like I was doing all these things. I mean, there's some of the things I do like I do like coloring and adult coloring
Yes.
books, and I do actually do like yoga. But anyway, I was doing all these things because it was like, okay, I made a check box, like a checklist of things that I need to do to heal, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I was just doing what
Going
everyone
through
said you should do.
tasks like checklists, checking them off.
Yeah, it was just like a check box, but it was like there were things that I was doing that I just didn't really enjoy. But I was like, okay, I'm
It's
gonna
the
heal. I gotta keep doing this.
right.
I'm gonna
At
heal.
some point, it's gonna feel good, and I'm
It's
gonna
gonna
like
work.
it, and I'm gonna heal. I'm gonna be better. Right? And
And I'm
then
like,
if you're like me, then you're sitting here debating, should I go back to the ER because I'm contemplating suicide way too much. Like, the idea of it is taking up too much space in my brain. And then I'm trying to figure out the best way to do it so that my children can still get the life insurance policy so they don't have to pay out of pocket for me to not be here anymore. And these are all real things that happen. And Regina, I don't know. I just know that I have stopped trusting. And this sounds bad, but I've stopped. You know what it is? It's not even trusting. I have stopped putting so much hope and belief in people and have started putting it more in my relationship with myself and God.
mm-hmm,
Right?
mm-hmm,
So, what feels right for me?
mm-hmm,
Because I've always been very rebellious. Like, I'm a rebellious person. So, we're in school and we're all taught the same thing. We're all taught the same thing until we get to college, and then we decide what our majors are and we go in that track. And basically taught the same things based on the track that you're in. So then we all learn to be like each other
Mm-hmm.
because we're all learning the same thing, and who knows it better is the better. And to me, that's not real. To me, because I'm always going to question, well, who wrote that and who said that they're right? Who said that? Who wrote that and who says that that's accurate? But my Bible? I'm sorry, I've been through way too many things in life to not know that God is real. Like, I'm a single mom with a kid who is going for his doctorate degree at Vanderbilt and lives in Brooklyn and flies to Tennessee every other weekend for class to get his doctorate degree that they're paying for him to get. While he's the principal and of a high school and middle school, I have a daughter that's a flight attendant that has amazing talent and beautiful. I have another daughter that's in college at first year in a dorm. I didn't do anything. I'm not a parent. I'm a provider. I don't do parenting very well. I'm not a disciplinarian. So how is it that my children didn't end up in worst case scenarios? It's because of God. It's not me. It has nothing to do with me. I just got to have them and be responsible for them. And I am the physical person that they come to for
Mm-hmm.
love and nurturing and care. But other than that, I can't take no credit for none of that, Regina. That alone is an indication that there's got to be a higher, and if there isn't, I'm screwed. Because,
Mm-hmm.
because if there isn't, then holy crap, what am I going to do? Right? Because this whole life has been a lie. And you know what?
It's been a lot. Ooh. Uh-oh. I think I'm having some technical difficulties.
More interested
Oh,
in.
sorry.
Can you hear me?
I hear you now. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Did I pause?
Yeah, you did. It went
You can hear
black for
me?
a second, but I hear you now.
Okay. And I'm more interested in I lost my train of thought because you would not believe who just called me, girl. We got so, yes. Face, yes, girl. see, see, this is what happens when it's live, babe. Like, this is me. I'm sorry, this is me. This is Falasha. This is what you get. You get the real. You get the real. You get the real. I
I
cannot
know
do all the other stuff.
exactly.
But I think what I was trying to say is that I have so many huge, um, magnificent, colossal blessings in my life that I didn't earn. I couldn't do it on my own. There's no way. I don't have a college degree. But yet, and still, I have a kid, and I have another one like, statistics state that somebody teaches that people from this background does not get to that place. That's a lie. It's not true. But if I believed that, I would
Mhm.
have reared and raised my children to believe that nothing was possible for them. That this is what it is for you. This is it. But because I have faith and I've always like had this reliance on God and this like um I don't know what's the opposite of limited. This unlimited
Yeah.
thinking. I always
Mhm.
never limited my children to just anybody around me. I don't limit people to just what
Yeah.
is in
Oh,
front of
you
them
really
or
don't.
around them,
You really don't.
right? And so yeah, I don't know. I have to rely on God because it's not me. I'm just one person, just one person going through life just randomly. I kid you not, but guided with God because I can't say I planned any of this.
Yeah. And I know I said I'm not
I
religious,
can't
but
hear
I agree
you.
with. Really?
Is it
Oh
me?
man. Hold on. What happened?
See, you see how the devil is? See, this is another proof and indication that there is a God. Because we were fine until I started talking about God. And then the devil was
Mhm.
like, y'all giving God way too much credit. How he get in this conversation? Let's mute somebody.
Can you hear me now? Hold up. Maybe I should just.
Can you hear me?
I hear you. Hold on. Can you hear me? I can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Okay, now I hear you. Okay.
I can't hear you.
Really? Can you hear me now? No. Hmm. Can you hear me now? What is going on? Uh, hmm. I don't know what's going on. Let me see. Can you hear me?
Now I can.
Okay. I don't know what was going on.
What happened?
I don't know.
Did you have to log out and log back in?
No, I removed myself from the stage. Oh my God, my hair looks crazy. I removed myself from the stage and then I just added myself.
Yes, I was saying that it's the devil. It's
Yeah, I
always
know. Oh my God.
yes.
I'm
But
like,
it was good.
I must be here for a reason because all this stuff that has happened to me and I'm still here.
Yes. Do you listen, girl? Let me tell you. I don't think you even understand. Like, you had the audacity to do a conference to redefine what a strong black woman looks like. And even when you have your chronic depressive episodes, which I now can fully understand, and you still show up every year and put this on for us. Oh,
You
please.
know, I appreciate that. And I will say that this year I actually have been leaning on my community and my support system a lot more. Because honestly, like this year would not be happening if it wasn't for you and everyone else who
Mm.
has you know what I'm saying, pitched in, taken the reins, like my friend Erica who runs the co-working space for me.
Nice.
You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah. And that's the goal of Mindful and Melanated, the Strong Black Women Redefined, the co-working space village on 92, so that we can do you hear like a noise in the
Yeah,
background?
I do. I'm taking this off.
Okay. I think it's both of our microphones.
There we go.
Yeah. Um,
It's better now. It's gone.
yeah, that's much better. Yeah. Oh, mine's still here. Oh, it's moving.
Yeah, I still hear it a little bit too.
Yeah, I don't know. It might be my computer too. Hold on. I don't know. But yeah, like if it wasn't for my support system, this conference would not be happening. And what I'm trying to build with Mindful and Melanated Village 92 is, and that's why I call the co-working space Village 92, because it really does take you know how I say that it takes a village to raise a child? It takes a village for us to support each other. Like,
Listen, it takes a village for everything.
mm-hmm.
anything that, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like we don't have to do like, and I was talking to my dad about this the other day, and I was like, I think one of the problems with the Black community is that we, and I told him, I was like, your generation failed us. I said, well, y'all renamed the Black Rights Movement to the Civil Rights Movement. It was a wrap. It was a wrap. I said, your generation failed us. So I blame you, old Negroes.
Black rights.
Anyway. That's another topic. Yeah, I was like, I think one of the problems not problem with the Black community, but like why we aren't, for lack of better phrases, better off. And yes, I know this is systemic, right? But I also think that we have tried to pigeonhole ourselves into capitalism and patriarchy. And I'm like, if you even look at the family structure nowadays, it's just mommy, daddy, kid, dog, maybe just mommy and dad. But we don't live in multi-generational homes anymore. First of all, the nuclear family is not even a real thing for the Western society either. But we're African people. You know what I mean? We're Native people. So like try to pigeonhole our way of living our life doesn't work in the capitalistic society. It doesn't work with the patriarchy.
You talking my language.
And so that's why I named the co-working space Village 92, because we got to get back to basics. This sound is really irritating me. Can you still hear it?
I hear it. Say something.
Something.
Now I can't hear you.
Now you can hear me. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you think it's me? How do I?
I don't know. It could be a combination of things. Because this is really bad. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Hopefully we can get this resolved. If not, we might have to just okay, it says my connection is unstable. Okay, let me